female mountain lion, with eyes both proud and desperate, held her injured cub in her mouth and walked straight toward a man. That man was Alex, a solitary ranger, and what happened next was not only astonishing but also brought millions to tears, proving a bond that transcends the boundaries of species. Alex, 40 years old, had been tied to Yellowstone for 12 years, a place he considered home. His love for nature stemmed from a childhood memory. When he was little, Alex once picked up a sparrow with a broken wing by the roadside. With his small hands, he cared for it until it flapped its wings and flew away. That moment etched into him a vow to protect nature's creatures. And now, as he drove through the winding trails among the pine forests, he had no idea that this vow was about to be tested in the most miraculous way. That morning, the fresh air was filled with the cheerful chirping of birds, blending with the sound of the wind rustling through the ancient pine canopies. A thick fog veiled the path, revealing only the first rays of sunlight shining on the hills, gilding the vast valley. Alex drove slowly, savoring the stillness, feeling the breath of the deep forest. He had no inkling that the next moment would change his life forever. Suddenly, from the mist, a figure emerged, a female mountain lion with a tawny coat glimmering in the dim light. She stepped into the middle of the road, her sharp eyes locking onto Alex's, making his heart seem to stop. In her mouth was a tiny limp cub, its leg twisted and bleeding. Without a hint of threat, the lioness approached, carrying a silent but powerful plea that transcended all barriers between human and wild beast. What happened next was a journey of trust, courage, and the healing power of compassion. This is the story of Alex and the cub he named Blaze, a tale that will make you believe in the magic at the heart of nature. As Alex drove through Yellowstone's foggy trail, the peaceful air was suddenly shattered by a sight that left him stunned. From the dense mist stepped a female mountain lion, whom he later called Luna, her golden eyes blazing like twin flames, locking onto his gaze. In her mouth was a small, frail cub with blood-streaked fur. Alex's heart pounded. His breath quickened as he realized he was facing one of the wild's most fearsome predators. He expected an angry roar, a sudden pounce, but that didn't happen. Instead, Luna approached with slow steps, her eyes not threatening, but seemingly holding a silent plea. Alex held his breath, gripping the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. Fear flooded his mind. He knew well the danger of facing a wild animal protecting its young. But confusion quickly replaced fear as Luna did not attack. She stood there, just a few meters away, gently placing the cub on the ground. The cub, whom Alex named Blaze, whimpered weakly in pain. Its leg was broken, twisted unnaturally, blood streaming from a deep wound, staining the dry grass by the road. Each of Blaze's cries pierced Alex's heart like a knife, stirring a powerful compassion and an undeniable urgency. Looking into Luna's eyes, Alex sensed something strange. She was not an enemy, but a desperate mother seeking help. But he still hesitated. Was this a trap? Would Luna suddenly lunge if he touched Blaze? Questions swirled in his mind, but Blaze's pitiful cries dispelled all doubt. He couldn't stand by and watch an innocent life fade before him. Despite his fear, Alex took a deep breath and decided to step out of the vehicle, a brave and reckless act. Could Alex save Blaze before its life slipped away? And what mystery behind Luna's gaze would forever change his view of the wild? In Yellowstone's dim twilight, time seemed to stand still as Luna, the mountain lion with gleaming golden fur and sharp eyes, did something beyond Alex's wildest imagination. She walked slowly toward him, head lowered, not in a hunting stance, but like a desperate mother begging for help. Luna's golden eyes reflected worry and pain, not the usual menace of an apex predator. With utmost care, she gently placed Blaze on the ground, the tiny cub with a bleeding leg wound, and stepped back a few paces, as if entrusting her child's life to Alex. Alex stood there, stunned, his hands trembling as he realized the unthinkable. A wild animal was pleading with him to save her child. He had heard stories of wildlife intelligence, but never had he witnessed such a moment firsthand. Luna's gaze was not that of an enemy, but of a mother placing complete trust in him, bridging the gap between human and wild nature. This understanding struck Alex like a bolt of lightning, shaking him to his core. He felt Luna's fierce maternal love, a wordless but profound emotion that left him breathless. But that stirring moment was swiftly overtaken by fear and doubt. Alex knew he faced one of the most dangerous animals in this land. Though Luna appeared calm now, a mountain lion's instincts could flare at any moment, especially with Blaze, her reason for living, in peril. He wondered if he was tempting death or embracing an inescapable duty. Luna's roar could erupt suddenly, and a single swipe could end it all in an instant. Alex clutched the radio, his finger hovering over the call button. He knew he could contact the rescue team for help, but time waited for no one. Blaze was weakening, the cub's breaths growing shallower, each second a fragile line between life and death. His gaze wavered between the whimpering Blaze on the ground and Luna, statue-like, ears alert yet showing no sign of attack. The turmoil within Alex intensified. Did he have the courage to step forward and save Blaze? Or would fear root him in place, leaving the cub to die before his eyes? In that moment, Alex realized this was not just a chance encounter between man and beast, but a profound test of his courage and faith in nature. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself amid the emotional storm. Though fear still gripped his chest, he couldn't turn his back on Blaze and Luna. With trembling hands, Alex slowly stepped out of the vehicle, eyes fixed on Luna, braced for any reaction. But Luna remained still, her gaze seeming to whisper, "Please, save my child." With his heart pounding in his chest, Alex knelt beside Blaze, his hand shaking as he opened the first aid kit. Each passing second felt like a life-or-death challenge. Luna, the mountain lion with icy eyes, stood just meters away, watching his every move. Though she showed no sign of aggression, Alex could sense the coiled power in her body, ready to spring if he made a mistake. Sweat rolled down his forehead, not just from the forest's heat, but from the fear that Luna might change her mind at any moment. He took a deep breath, striving for calm. His voice was soft, like a lullaby for Blaze. "Easy, Blaze. I'll help you. Don't be afraid." His hands carefully touched the cub's injured leg, where blood still seeped from a deep gash. Blaze whimpered weakly but didn't struggle. Alex began wrapping the bandage, each motion slow and precise, like an artisan perfecting his craft. Each turn of the bandage was snug, but not too tight, to avoid causing more pain. He dared not look directly at Luna, but from the corner of his eye, he saw her standing there, motionless, as if weighing his every action. Luna stood still as a statue, her ears perked up in alertness, her gaze fixed on Blaze. Not a growl, not a single movement, only absolute focus. In her eyes, Alex sensed a fragile yet intense trust, as if Luna understood that he was the only hope to save Blaze. That trust was both a motivation for him to continue and a heavy pressure on his shoulders, making it impossible for him to make a mistake. After finishing the bandaging, Alex let out a sigh of relief, but the tension had not yet dissipated. He knew Blaze needed more advanced medical care. Reaching for his radio, he called the rescue team. "I have an emergency in the western area. A severely injured cub needs immediate assistance." His voice was urgent, yet maintained the calm of an experienced ranger. The rescue team responded quickly, and while waiting, Alex sat beside Blaze, gently stroking its fur to soothe it. Just a few minutes later, the rescue team arrived with medical equipment and a specialized cage. As they approached, Luna suddenly let out a low growl, her body tensing, ready to protect Blaze. Alex raised his hand to signal the team to stop, then turned to Luna, his voice low and firm. "Luna, they're here to help Blaze. Trust me." Though he knew she couldn't understand his words, he hoped his tone would convey the message. Miraculously, Luna gradually relaxed, stepping back a few paces, though her eyes remained fixed on Blaze. As the rescue team carefully placed Blaze into the cage, Alex and Luna suddenly locked eyes. In the absolute silence, with only the gentle rustling of the wind through the trees, their gazes met, a wordless connection between human and wild animal. Alex felt a profound gratitude from Luna, an emotion that transcended species boundaries. Tears rolled down his cheeks, not from fear, but from sensing Luna's fierce love for Blaze and the honor of saving the cub from death's grasp. He whispered, "I'll take care of Blaze, Luna. I promise." Luna stood there, her gaze softening as if she understood. She turned and walked slowly toward the deep forest, but did not leave entirely. From a nearby rock, she watched as the rescue team loaded Blaze onto the vehicle. Alex knew that this moment would be etched in both their minds forever. But could Blaze overcome its severe injury to return to Luna? And what would happen when Alex faced a dark secret from the forest's past? After being rescued from the forest fire and brought to the rescue center at Yellowstone National Park, Blaze, the tiny cub with ash-gray fur, began its recovery journey under Alex's devoted care. In the early days, Blaze was weak, its small legs trembling with each attempt to stand, and its eyes reflected a mix of fear and pain. Alex, with utmost gentleness, spent hours by Blaze's side, changing bandages, feeding it warm milk from a bottle, and whispering words of encouragement. "You'll be okay, Blaze, one step at a time." Gradually, Alex's patience touched the cub's little heart, and Blaze began to respond by nuzzling against his hand, a small but trusting gesture. Each day, Blaze grew stronger. From limping unsteadily on 3 legs, it gradually tested its injured leg, though it sometimes tumbled onto the soft grass. Alex was always there to lift Blaze up, sometimes chuckling at its determined efforts. One afternoon, while playing with a small ball, Blaze suddenly leaped and playfully scratched Alex's hand, leaving a small pink scar on his palm. Alex wasn't angry. He just smiled, stroked Blaze, and said, "You're quite the rascal, little one." That scar was not just a mark of mischief, but also a testament to the special bond between them. A friendship forged through the toughest days. Throughout Blaze's recovery, Luna, its mother, was a constant, resilient presence. Each sunset, as the pale golden light stretched across the valley, Luna stood silently on a nearby hillside, her golden eyes watching Blaze with patience and unconditional love. She didn't approach, perhaps knowing Blaze was in good hands, but her presence was a great comfort. Alex often caught Luna's gaze, and in those moments he felt a quiet gratitude from the mother lion. Luna's maternal love was not only a warming flame for Blaze, but also a driving force for Alex to keep striving, helping Blaze return to the life it deserved. As time passed, Blaze became strong enough to start a new chapter. The veterinarians and management decided to transfer Blaze to a wildlife sanctuary in Montana, where it could live freely and safely. Alex knew this was best for Blaze, but his heart grew heavy as the day of parting drew near. That morning, as the rescue team prepared the vehicle, Alex came to Blaze's cage for the last time. He knelt down, stroking its soft fur, feeling the familiar warmth from its small body. "Good luck, Blaze. Stay strong," he whispered, his voice choked with emotion, his heart heavy with sadness mixed with pride. Blaze looked up, its eyes glistening as if understanding this was goodbye. It gently licked his hand, a tender gesture like a final thank you, before stepping onto the vehicle. As the car began to move, Blaze turned back, its gaze lingering as if reluctant to leave, then gradually disappeared behind the green trees. Alex stood there, waving lightly, tears silently rolling down his cheeks. He was proud to have saved Blaze, witnessing it transform from a frail creature into a strong cub. But the sorrow of parting still gripped his heart. From afar, on the familiar hillside, Luna stood still, watching the vehicle carry Blaze away. Her eyes shone with trust and hope, as if sending her love along with her child. Alex looked at Luna one last time, and in that moment, he knew that even though Blaze had left, their journey, his, Blaze's, and Luna's, would forever be an indelible part of his heart. As the sunset descended upon Yellowstone, casting a brilliant golden veil over the valley, a majestic figure appeared on a distant hilltop. Luna, the strong yet gentle lioness, stood there, magnificent like a living painting. The evening breeze blew through, lifting her golden fur, each strand glittering in the fading light. Luna gazed peacefully toward Alex and Blaze, her deep eyes reflecting gratitude and serenity, as if offering a final thank you to those who had brought hope to her and her son. The moment was heartbreakingly beautiful, like a symphony of nature, where every sound, the wind, the rustling leaves, the distant birds blended to celebrate life. Alex stood in silence, his heart seemingly stopping for a moment. He watched Luna, feeling the weight of this moment, a wordless farewell, yet it held everything he had experienced with her and Blaze. When Luna turned, walking lightly and gradually disappearing behind the trees, Alex smiled softly, a smile tinged with regret and contentment. He told himself that he had done the right thing, saving Blaze, protecting Luna, and preserving a part of this wild world. The wind carried the scent of the ancient forest, of the free earth and sky, reminding him that a piece of his soul was forever bound to Yellowstone, to the creatures he had met and loved. He whispered to the wind, "Thank you, Luna, for everything." Though Luna had gone far, Alex knew that the memory of her courage, maternal love, and resilience would forever be a guiding light on his path ahead. He stood there a little longer, breathing in the fresh air, feeling a deep connection with nature like never before. If this story has touched your heart, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had a moment where you felt close to nature or an animal? Share your story to spread love and awareness for the wild world. And if you want to continue accompanying such beautiful journeys, subscribe to the Animal Kisa channel so you don't miss any touching stories about the animal kingdom.